Welcome back, Gale Force. Today we'll be doing something slightly different and taking a look at units who I consider beginner friendly throughout some of the more available Fire Emblem games to its Western audience. These are not necessarily the strongest characters in the game, but they are characters that allow a new player to learn mechanics and understand unit strengths and weaknesses without punishing them too harshly for using them or utterly steamrolling the game either. Here's the disclaimer. Pause if you'd like to read it, and let's jump right into it. In my opinion, the most beginner friendly character in Blazing Blade is Raven. He comes relatively early with very solid bases but very clear weaknesses in his low defense and resistance, as well as initially being sword locked. Raven is strong enough to replace Lyn or Guy in any playthrough without worry as soon as you can get him, and will be better statistically on average than whichever Cavalier the player has been favoring too. However, he is footlocked, which can force a new player to take maps a bit slower and think things through when using him rather than allowing Raven to simply steamroll through maps. While he will only get stronger, eventually getting access to axes upon promotion, which will let him always have weapon triangle advantage on player phase, his defenses will always remain shoddy at best thanks to his low defense and resistance growths. Raven is a strong tool for any player to make use of, but still requires a lot of thought to be used properly. Similarly, Franz from the Sacred Stones is a great introduction to how good units can become when given enough time and experience. He starts out rather weak, but has more time to level compared to Ford or Kyle, who are both attained later. His being a Cavalier allows you to access a high mobility unit that can help train your other projects by taking to the field first to deal chip damage early on, or can just eat up the kills himself in order to become a far stronger unit by the time Ephraim's squad joins you. Either way, he's a great unit for a beginner to learn how they should be dividing experience up among their squad, and for figuring out what kind of army they'd like to build. Moving on to Path of Radiance, the most beginner friendly unit available to your army is probably Leith. She's a great introductory character to how Lagoos function in Path of Radiance, and while she is a powerful unit right off the gate, she has very clear weaknesses and low enough strength after transforming that she'll still generally be providing chip for your other training projects. Unlike other units we'll discuss in this video, Leith isn't a unit with a lot of long term potential. She is, however, a very useful tool players can make use of early on to level units such as Soren and Ilyana. Awakening units are all pretty universally useful, but there is a unit that serves as a perfect measuring mark for the rest of your army. Stall. Stall is the perfect middleman between good and bad. If a unit is performing better than Stall, great, keep using them. If they're performing worse, however, you should probably bench them. Eventually, you'll probably bench Stahl as well, but his ability early on to serve as the exact statistical middleman for your army the majority of the time provides players with a great tool for figuring out where the baseline for their army should be. The final unit I'll be discussing in this video is actually two units, Jacob and Felicia. Both are fantastic early recruits to any Fates path that allow you an early healer as well as reliable chip damage. They will never deal enough damage to outshine other options in your army or heal as much as a dedicated healer, but are nonetheless wonderful hybrid options that allow you to learn the basics of the game relatively safely early on. They even come with hidden weapons as their weapon of choice, allowing a player to learn about the debuffs these weapons uniquely apply. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell if you'd like to get notified when I post a new video. Special thank you to patrons 60 Sweep, Gorilla Danny for subscribing at the Paladin tier, and Bosnia and Zarek for subscribing at the Great Lord tier, and also to YouTube member Jerry for joining at the Paladin tier. I'd really appreciate if you checked out the links in the description if you can, but otherwise, have a great rest of your day.